special envoy prepares for Doha meeting on Afghanistan. No definition of human rights, yet governments are sanctioned for it, says Taliban's FM. US envoy and Uzbek ambassador discuss Afghanistan. Hello, my name is Nadia Mahajarzad from Fast Times News Network. Today is 9 February 2024. During a press conference on Thursday, Thomas Nicholson, EU Special Envoy for Afghanistan, said that the main focus of his visit to Afghanistan has been to prepare for the Doha meeting. Doha meeting hosted by the United Nations is set to be held on February 18 and 19. Special envoys of different countries for Afghanistan and international organizations will be among the participants of this meeting. Earlier, it had been announced that the representatives of Afghan women and civil society as well as representatives of the Taliban also attended the Doha meeting. The United Nations selection of representatives for Afghan women and civil society members to invite for the Doha meeting remains unclear. The Taliban has stated that their decision to participate in the Doha meeting will be determined after receiving a clarification regarding the agenda of the meeting from the United Nations. At the press conference, Nicholson said that the Taliban has a positive outlook towards the Doha meeting and their participation. However, he added that the Taliban officials say that they will decide on their participation if the United Nations provides clarification about the meeting format and proceedings. Nicholson said that the main purpose of his meeting with Taliban officials was to focus on Doha meeting, and he discussed various issues including the composition of the Taliban delegation for the meeting. He added that during his 4 days in Kabul, he held discussions with Taliban officials, including the Deputy Minister of Interior for Counter-Narcotics, about the achievements of the ministry in the fight against narcotics. He mentioned that in the near future he is participating in a meeting of representatives for 5 Central Asian countries in Kyrgyzstan to discuss the fight against drugs in Afghanistan. Amir Khan Muttaqi, the Taliban's foreign minister, has said that terms such as terrorism and human rights lack clear definitions, yet governments like the Taliban face sanctions based on these grounds. Muttaqi refuted the Western countries' criticism of the detention and torture of human rights activists by the Taliban and accused the West of double standards with regards to human rights. He made this statement on Thursday during a graduation ceremony of 3-month course at the Institute of Diplomacy and Group's Ministry of Foreign Affairs. He pointed to the killing of thousands of Palestinian lives and said that nothing is being said about Israel's actions. Muttaqi emphasized that there is still no definition of human rights, criticizing the imposition of sanctions under the name of human rights on certain nations and governments. Senior Taliban officials are not allowed to travel due to UN sanctions, and the group is under severe international sanctions due to terrorist activities. The Taliban government has not been recognized and has been isolated for not respecting human rights and having a relationship with the terrorist groups. The Taliban's foreign minister further accused Afghan civil activists of collaborating with the Western countries. In justifying their detention, he said that 5 individuals in Afghanistan in contact with the West and working for them have been imprisoned, and it has been said that their rights have been violated. If the prisons worldwide are filled with the oppressed, it is not necessarily a violation of human rights. In the last 2 years, the Taliban has closed girls' schools and barred women and girls from attending universities. The group has detained and subjected hundreds of civil activists and women's rights defenders to torture. Experts and human rights organizations say that the Taliban's regressive policies and exclusion of women from societal participation constitute a form of gender apartheid. Rina Amiri, U.S. Special Representative for Afghan Women, Girls and Human Rights, met Furqat Sagdagov, Uzbekistan's ambassador in Washington. On her X social media platform, she wrote that they emphasize on the importance of the role of regional countries in Afghanistan, including maintaining a principled position toward an inclusive government that upholds the rights of Afghan women and men. From time to time, the U.S. Special Representative holds meetings with officials from different countries to discuss Afghan issues, particularly the rights of Afghan women. Unfortunately, these efforts have proven fruitless as the Taliban continues to disregard international calls to respect human rights. Uzbekistan, similar to other nations, has not recognized the Taliban regime yet maintains close relations with them.